Hello everyone, welcome to my online class today. My name is Dr. Francis Omonefe, an exploration geophysicist with Ph.D. Consulting. I want to say congratulations for having a 1,000 subscribers. So this is my first video and I hope you find it useful. Although this video is requested from one of my comments, if you check through my videos, that I should tell them how to reduce the RMS error correctly. So at this point, if you are not subscribed to this channel, please do that now, because your subscription is the encouragement that we need to keep on doing more videos. This video is going to be very interesting and it's going to answer a lot of your questions, so I will urge you to watch this video to the end to answer and clear any doubt in your mind. So today we'll be reducing the RMS error correctly, and let's go to our desktop. So this is my desktop. I'll be launching the software we are using. It's a free software, which is the Res2Dinv version. I made a previous video on how to reduce your RMS error in 1D and 2D, and the results didn't come out well, and I was requested to make a video on how to do it correctly. So that previous video was to tell you that that method is actually not as effective as it should be. So my desktop is launched. So I'll be using two data sets for this tutorial. So first of all, let's use the first data set. Let's read our data file. If you don't know this process, I urge you to go back and check my videos. So my data that I'll be using is in my desktop, and this is I'll be using this Lecture 1 error data. So our data read successfully without an error. Reading of data file completed. So the next thing you want to do is to just run your inversion. Let's see the error percentage in this particular data. So let's carry out our inversion. They'll ask us to save our inversion file. Yes, continue. So the computer is doing its work, and in no time it's going to finish it and show us the error percentage of this data set. So at this point, while the computer is doing its work, I will want you people to subscribe to the YouTube channel now, because it's the encouragement that we need to keep doing more videos. So it has finished its inversion process and is asking us if it should do more iteration. We are not interested in doing more iteration at this point. Okay, but let's just click yes to see if the error percentage will reduce further. So at this point, our IP session is reading 51.8 RMS error. So let's just show our inversion to see it properly. So let's show our inversion to see it properly. Okay, let's display our inversion results. This result comes with a topography, but that is not our issue. Our issue is the RMS error, how to reduce it. So we'll display our data plain as it is. So let's quickly choose the two together. We want to display our resistivity and IP session together, and let's do so. So it's telling us that the inversion process when undergo 3 iterations. If we should load all the 3 iterations or reduce it to 2 or 1, say load all the 3 iterations. It's asking if we should show it in logarithmic contour interval. Yes, so just leave everything at default. So at default, this is what we have, and as you can see, we have our resistivity data to be 90.2, and we have our IP session to be 51.8, which is very high, but the standard acceptable RMS error is about 5% below. So 19 is on the high side. Now pay attention. because this is where the tutorial actually starts. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is to exit this session and go through the process again. So let's read our file. It ran successfully. So to reduce the RMS error, we have to check our datum points. There is the proper way to reduce the RMS error. So let's examine our bad data points. So as you can see, we have some overlapping data points in this area. So these are the reason why our error is actually increasing. By right, it's supposed to be smooth like this. It's supposed to be straight. The lines are supposed to be straight without overlapping. The lines are supposed to be straight without overlapping. So what do? We start removing those bad overlapping points. So this first line is supposed to go straight like this. So this line is supposed to go like this. So this needed. So I've removed the data points I felt is not needed. Because they are overlapping, but also we can view it in our IP session. Let's view it in our IP session. So you can see the points I removed from the resistivity are also highlighted in our IP sessions, and you can as well remove more in our IP session. This one is not needed. This one is not. So at this point, let's exit. It will ask you that you have made some changes. Do you want to save the changes? Yes. Let's save it. So now I'm going to save it as lect 1 error data 1. It's asking us that in order to make use of the data you just edited, you have to reload it again. So we'll go to file and read the data again. So this time we are reading the error data 1 we just created. And let's just carry out our inversion. So the system is carrying out its inversion. So at this point, the system is carrying out an inversion. It's inversion. So if you have not subscribed, you can do that. Do it. It will take anything from you. So it's asking also if we should do more iteration or more inversions. So we just say yes, do it, no problem. So let's display our results to see what we got. Let's say we want to display our resistivity and IP sessions together. So let's just display without it to program. So let's leave everything at default. So at this point, we see that our RMS error is now 7.9%, while our IP session is now 19.1%. We are not still satisfied with the error in the resistivity value, so we are going to do this again. We are going to go through the process again using our edited file. So let's just exit this window and read our inversion data again. I'll read our file again. Go back and examine your data point again. Let's see. Okay, so at this point our data is looking clean, but we still have some overlapping lines, some overlapping points. These points. Let's check through our IP window. Okay, I think like this we are good to go. Let's just remove this point as well. So I think like this we are good to go. So let's exit this point, exit this window. If you want to save it, I'll be like, okay, save it, we need it. So this time we'll call it 2. I will save. For you to use this thing, you have to reread it again. So let's reread this thing again. This time we are reading the 2 we just created. So let's carry out our inversion. So we are carrying out the inversion for the second time. Let's see what we have. So let's display our results. We have finished the inversion process. So let's display for both of them. And so at this point we have a 5.6. You can continue doing this until you are perfect, but this is the right way to reduce an error. But if you go further to want to do that other pattern I did before, RMS error statistics, and you feel like, okay, let's do this thing, let's remove some bad data points. So you see that some points have been highlighted and chosen as bad data point as you move your console. So let's assume we are using these points. So those data points highlighted in red in those sessions are bad. The system have recognized it as bad data points. So let's assume and go ahead. So you exit the pointer and to ask you that they have trimmed it. Do you want to use the trim data set? You say yes, I want to use it, and they'll ask you to save it. So I'll call this one data 2 trim. So you exit this panel and let's read our trim data. So let's carry out our inversion. Okay, after successfully completing the inversion process from our trim data, now let me show you something that is not proper from our trim data result. So let's display our result. Let's display, let's want to display the 2. Then let's display it again. So as you can see, our resistivity value was successfully trimmed, but it increased the error percentage for our IP session. So that is why I said this trim pattern is actually not effective. I don't use it because most of the time it will corrupt your data or it will corrupt your IP session. So most of the time it will come out good, but your IP is always affected. So you choose which one you want to do. Choose which one you desire to do. So that's for that. But I still want to show you something. What if your lines are straight and your RMS error is still high? Your lines are straight, they are not interlocking, they are not overlapping each other, but your RMS error is still high. Then what can you do? I have an example of that, so let me quickly just run that now. So let's read our second data. So these are our second data. There's 2 error data. So our data read successfully. So let's examine. As you can see, this data point, there's no overlapping data points. So since there's nothing to filter away, let's just carry out our inversion and see what we got. Okay, this is what we got. So let's display our results. Display both IP and resistivity session. So as you can see, we have a 94% error, and in our IP session we have 82.3% error. At this point, you can see that the data sets were not overlapping, but our RMS error is high. If you go further to say, okay, let's do that error trimming. Let's trim to see if this will help us to reduce the error. Let's trim to this point. and you exit. Let's display our IP. Let's use our IP session 2 as well to trim. Okay, let's trim like this and let's exit. Let's do error data, let's call it trim. Let's exit this window and read our trim data. Let's carry out an inversion and see what we got. So as you can see, your data have been badly affected. You can see, and it won't work. There's already an error message telling you that this thing will not work and your data have been badly affected. So you see why that trim error doesn't work all the time. It doesn't actually work all the time. It doesn't work. In fact, it doesn't work at all. I don't use it, and I will not recommend anyone to use it as well. So this is the end of the tutorial. If this video have helped you, please click the subscribe button, share it to as many geology and geophysics students that you know, to help them as well. As I said before, I'm trying to bridge the gap between students and the industry. It is a pity that many students graduate from the university sector without knowing the application of what they studied. So if this video have helped you, subscribe, comment, like and share. Thank you very much. I look forward to do more videos for you. Thank you.